Hi everyone, it's Cal. I hope you're doing well. I'm in my little kitchen again, just having breakfast, and I thought I'd jump on and talk to you a little bit about the cube. I have a couple of questions. One of them is, what is the cube? And the other one is, how do I get there? So let's start with what is the cube. The blood red cube that appears in your below your groin, about 4 to 6 inches below your groin, is a universal seed. The universe is a cube. The father aspect within the universe is the circle. It spirals. It's growing. That's why it spirals. The universe is a cube. And one day I'll show you, when I get my little board out here, exactly how you relate to it. So the cube unlocks into a cross, and it's your emotions that are fueling the whole trip through it. The cube is growing through you, and when your soils are receptive enough, that's why when you go into meditation, you go into deep receptive love, and then it's activated. So love is activating this whole life thing. And all emotions, when they're in the positive, are one form or another, a degree or 2 degrees of love. Everything is about the degrees. Well, sorry, it's not like it's about the degrees, but everything can be measured in degrees to know where you're at. The cube, when it unlocks, when you're in deep receptive love, that's why meditating on love is critical. When you are receptive enough, it activates it and it flows through you, it grows through you, that tree, and then you are rooted to the mother, the universe. So the mother is the planet, that's your local mother. The mother is, there are two aspects to everything in life. The father aspect, the sun, and all the stars you see out there, which are all spiraling. They are all spiraling because they are fertilizing a solar building system. And when you do the Kundalini, you will connect to your sun eventually after you cross the threshold of this chakra. Up to the heart, it's the mother, and then this is the bridge. Okay? And then you get into the father. It's activated by the mother, the pituitary, who allows the energy to flow through to the pineal, and then you open up the door in the opposite direction, and boom, you are connected to the father aspect, which is light. He's the creator of the system. She's the knower of the system. She's the allower of the system. She is the great force that brings things to you because she exists inside of you and she is receptive. And it is receptivity, that degrees of receptivity, that pull everything to you. To say it in a very, very general way, I know that we could talk about pheromones and a whole bunch of other bodily aspects, but let's just talk about it in the most plainest form we possibly can. There is receptive force and there is active force. And when you are in receptivity, when you're in her receptive force, you draw things actively to you. So the active force comes to you, it's attracted to you. So the cube is the universe and it's replicating itself. The universe, the female aspect and the male aspect, they are replicating themselves in you, and that is what's causing everything on earth to grow, because the heavens is all the stars in the heavens, that's the mind. It's all connected through alignments, and these alignments are all focused on one thing, itself, and itself is mirrored into the mud, and it's pulling the mud up and thus creating through this spiraling, all these cycles that everything is going through from non-existence to existence, up to a form. And the form is in the image of the Creator and the Creatrix. So once you're in the full image of the Creator, you become the Creator more than you know it, to greater and greater and greater degrees in or out of this body. And then you become, after that, her, which means after you are in Creator mode in the stars for so long, you begin to die back, and you die back into her. When you die, you always die back into her until you reach one point of unifying your body, and then your body-mind. And then you go on, after the body dies away, into the stars to live your cycles at that level. There are levels of being. Imagine this whole universe as a tree with linear levels of being. You can think of them as dimensions if you like. And at every level, there are branches. And in those branches live the birds that have the vibrations of those branches. That's why they live there. Remember, vibration is always attracts itself, right? So there are hierarchies everywhere you go. So you go into, there are hierarchies at the human level, there are hierarchies at the plant level, in the mineral world level. There are levels everywhere. And your force is flowing through them. And as you do, you are building your strength to control more and more and more. It's just like pumping iron. The more iron you pump, the more you can take on. And then as you get into the human body, now you want to solidify your force. You want to own it. You want to have it. And that's what the Kundalini does. It unifies all the force that you can hold. So you can have the Kundalini in a small way, or you can have the Kundalini in a big way. And again, you will get the force that you can control is to the degree that you will have the Kundalini. So I hope that this has somewhat explained something. The cube is like the stalk or the tree that grows through you, and the force is how, like I just mentioned, it's how much you can pump, how much you can control. So you can have a small Kundalini or you can have a massive Kundalini, you know, depending. There are gradations, and there are many gradations. It's not this or that. There are incredible gradations. I happen to have like I've mentioned before, a really big one, but there are probably bigger ones even than that, good heavens. And so there are different gradations of vibration in every level of the tree, and in every level of the tree within you. But when I did the Kundalini, I have to say that the tree that it's kind of like a ladder. It is like a ladder that is built through you, and every part of the ladder was the same thickness. So it wasn't like I had a little tiny bar on one and then a bigger bar on the other. It manifested through me with big metal bars at each level. And then when it got to the heart level, I burst into flame. And then it went through to the next, and then the dove came, and then I went and met the Creator. But remember, the Kundalini can go in two directions. You can manifest in two directions. So the cube is the universe, a universal seed, and the universe is always replicating itself. It is growing bigger at all times. And your consciousness it's building consciousness. So it's like you are born sort of in the poop of stars, and in the richness of the poop of stars, and you grow through that to become a big shiny diamond. And you will eventually join all those diamonds you see in the sky. There are many gradations. There's super fine light like the moon, there's bright light like the sun, and between the two there are many gradations. There are some that don't have their light and they are working on it, and they're all collectives. So every star you see out there is a collective, and when you do the Kundalini at full force, you will join with the star that you came through. You go back to the Father and you show him that you are a big person now, and then you become sort of like an adolescent, and then after you shed this life you will go on to a larger field. There is really no end. This is infinity we're talking about. So you have all infinity to do this at any given time. You're doing it whether you're aware of it or not. And you can really just sit back and enjoy this life, whether you're living on the street, whether you're living in a castle, whether you're living in a teepee out in the woods. It is all good. It is all learning. You're always doing the Kundalini. There is no end to this. Well, you're not doing the Kundalini. You're building your force to do the Kundalini, to unite your mind and body. And it is good because, like I said, it is all infinity. Some people have, one life dedicated to one chakra because they really want to build that bar, that part of themselves. They really need that work in that area. So you have to trust, and you have to kind of live with an ear to the ground, and follow that intuitive being inside of you. That's the mother. She wants to get you as fast as she can because she wants to rejoin with you. She wants you to know her, who she is, and how much she loves you. So the cube, the blood red cube, how do you get there? Now let's talk about how do you get there. Well, you're already moving there, aren't you? Because you're here on this planet, you're getting there. It's just how fast do you want to get there? Do you want to force grow? Then go into meditation. Do you want to, kind of just speed it up a little bit? Get into mind-body awareness. Do you want to just sort of live your life and be a little bit aware? Okay, work out, live your life and work out a little bit more, Working out really aligns the mind and it makes you stronger. And when you're stronger physically, you're actually stronger mentally. And of course, there are different gradations of that. So this is why everything really comes down to the individual, because everybody is on their own path to do this. And although we do have twins apparently in all these other universes, we're really just focusing on this life here that you are most aware of, rather than trying to get into all these other lives. That's where you really gain, is when you are really in this body here and really paying attention to this body here, rather than trying to be in all these other places, which is kind of cool. I've done that. But being in this body right here is where you're really building the strength. So, yeah, the cube is the cosmic root, and there are many ways to get there, and it's which way do you want to get there and how fast you want to go. So I hope that this solved some of your questions out there about the Kundalini and the cube. And yeah, I'd love to hear your comments below, and I guess like, share, and subscribe so we can spread the word that A, everything is okay, and B, if you want to move faster, then come on over to this channel and pick up some tips. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon, everyone. Everyone take care. Bye for now.